This is the second in our KiCAD series of videos. In the last one we looked at downloading and installing the program. In this one we're going to look at the main KiCAD interface. We're also going to be looking at how to prepare a project. KiCAD likes to work within projects because in a project you could have a schematic or several schematics. You could have PCB or several PCBs. You could also have quite a large variety of additional files, and by working in a project these are all kept together, which makes housekeeping very nice. So to begin, let's open up KiCAD. So again, Windows 10 Start button. I have KiCAD pasted to my Start menu, so I'll click it here to start. And here we see the main interface. Now this section on the lower right is a messaging section, and it really tells you what it is KiCAD has just done. And you can get a lot of information from this. If there's ever problems, they'll be listed here. On the lower left, we have our project section. So this tells us what is the currently open project and what files are currently in that project. And as I indicated, these could be many times more than this. We have the standard Windows style of menu bar under File. We have Open Project. We can see shortcuts, if anything, are there. Open Recent Projects. So some of these are projects I've worked on in the not too distant past, and New Project, and we have a couple of options there. Won't worry about the other two for now, and Close closes the program, same as the little X up on top. Browse lets us open a text editor so that we can view a text document. All of the documents, all of the files within KiCAD are in fact text-based documents, so they can be viewed in a text editor. This doesn't mean they'll be comprehensible, but they can be viewed nonetheless. Preferences, to go to configure paths, unless there is an issue with the installation, these should never have to be changed. As you become an expert in KiCAD, you may want to add things, but for now we're not going to touch it. Also under preferences, it says set a text editor. KiCAD used to come with a built-in text editor. That has been discontinued, so now you pick an external text editor. So here I have already picked Notepad++. So I've gone to my C drive, my program files, my Notepad++ folder, and then I selected Notepad. You could use this program, you could use the Windows program under the Windows folder, whatever you want. I've already done that. Without a text editor selected, you won't be able to view text files. PDF editor. If we pause here, we see that there is a default PDF viewer, so we're not going to play with it. Under hotkeys, if we pause, we can see that we can export, import, edit, or actually just view what are the hotkeys that are defined. So these are in essence shortcuts to the major components within KiCAD. The only one I'd really draw your attention to is to save a project. It's Control S, the same as the standard Windows Control S does. Under Tools, we have an assortment of 8 sub-programs within the KiCAD suite that can be invoked. Now these 8 programs correspond to the 8 icons or tool buttons that we see right here. And as the series continues, it makes sense that before its termination we will have touched on all of these. Under Help, well, we can copy the version information. We can look at the KiCAD manual. Getting started in KiCAD is actually a very good document that I recommend you view. Notice that here under the URL bar, it has gone to my local drive. So this is a file that is installed with the program. And your help docs are there, although they're not always easily accessible. So this is one that I recommend that you certainly refer to, if not read. So this is our main thing. We want to start a project now because, as I indicated, KiCAD likes to keep things in projects. File management is a very important thing, and having all the files associated to a particular project, no matter what it would be, no matter how small, incorporated within one folder really makes a lot of sense. So here we can click this icon, or we can go up under File and we can say let's do a new project, and this new project does exactly the same thing as clicking this button does. So it opens up a window wherein we can view different things. So under Learning KiCAD, I'm going to leave that as my main folder, but within that I'd like to create another folder. So I'm going to right click in New Folder, and I'm going to say Preparing a Project as the folder name. It helps always spell it right. Then we're going to click Enter again to go into the project, and now I have to actually give the project a name. And I'm kind of anal this way. I like to use the same name because it is meaningful. Prepare a project. So we'll hit Enter, and now we have our Prepare a Project showing in the project window. And notice that it has in fact given us 3 files. Now the Preparing a Project.pro is the project file itself. That is the file which contains not only what we visually see here, but as we work on our project and invoke various programs, will leave traces behind of what we do. And in other words, how big is a window, and what font are we using, that sort of thing. And that's all stored in our project. Now this copies a default project file from the KiCAD main program itself, and we can modify this once we know what we're doing. It's also put in a schematic and a PCB. I can slide this over slightly. Now it's a blank PCB, just as it's a blank schematic. We haven't done anything yet. But this is how we prepare our project. And at this point, we're ready to actually begin. So for this video, we just want to prepare the project, which is what we've done, and maybe we'll just leave it there. In this video, we have given a cursory overview of the main KiCAD interface. There's so much more to see and learn in this little interface, but that's enough for now. In the next video, we're going to be actually beginning to draw schematics. We'll be looking at a total of 4 schematics, perhaps over multiple videos. See you then.